What's happening, people? Good morning, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV in an effort of bringing the financial markets to your doorstep and help each and every one of you make informed decisions about the amazing CFDs markets and investments in general. The episode today is proudly sponsored by our partners at Forexy and Markets.com. If you like what you see, guys, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. 5 days left to U.S. elections. Lots of pressures on the market. Where to from here? Join us next week as we get closer to U.S. elections and find out more from industry experts. Here is a sneak peek of my guests next week. We're going to start the week, guys, with Neil Wilson, Chief Market Analyst at Markets.com. We're going to have Joel Monteiro in the studio once again, founder and CEO at Forexy, to bring us more insights as we get closer to the U.S. elections. After that, we're going to have Alex Katsaros, CEO at TopFX, Tier 1 liquidity provider in the FX industry. We're going to also have Mark Priest, guys, live from London, head of equity markets at ETX Capital. And last but not the least, I'm going to have a surprise guest for you guys just ahead of the U.S. elections. Someone really, really famous, someone you don't want to miss. Stay tuned, guys, and follow me and see what my guests will have to say next week about the U.S. elections and the financial markets in general. Good morning once again, everyone. Good morning, Europe. Let's have a quick look at the charts, guys, and see what has happened today and what has happened on the Asian trading session. We see a busy day in the economic calendar today, guys, with initial jobless claims and the ECB interest rate decision to be announced in the afternoon, shortly after lunchtime, GMT +2. We see European indices probably set for a positive opening after tanking over 4% yesterday, one of the biggest meltdowns in European indices since March this year. Crude oil tanked as well after crude oil inventories last night revealed the storage surplus, and gold futures are trading as low as $1,880 an ounce. Potential for the upside for the European currencies and gold today as the USD gave back some gains overnight on the Asian trading session. The question remains, is it time to buy the dip, guys, or the Red Sea will continue today? Let's have a quick look at the charts and see how the markets reacted at the European opening. We're going to start with crude oil, guys, which is currently trading at 37.28. Very, very low trading price for oil today. We can see trading on a 60-minute chart well below the 50 and the 200 moving average. It's currently testing the support levels, at the 37 mark. Let's see what's going to happen once the markets calm down today, guys, and see if oil will go up eventually and test the 50 moving average at least, offering some short-term buy positions to short-term traders. The Euro-USD pair is currently trading at 117.33. We saw the euro pushing slightly higher on the Asian trading session, getting closer to the 50 moving average, but it got rejected by the 50 moving average and is currently aiming lower. We see the RSI and the stochastic pointing sharply lower. 1 point will be the 117.04. Okay, as that's an important support level for the euro. We might see this level touched later on today if the euro will continue the downtrend, guys. We're moving on to the pound, which moved higher on the Asian trading session last night. It currently got rejected by the 200 moving average. It started pointing downwards as well as the RSI and the stochastic that we see at the bottom of the charts. Currently trading at 129.98, just 2 cents short of the 130 level, which is a very, very important psychological level for the pound. If the pound will continue the downturn today, probably traders will aim for the 129.41 level as the first take profit level, as this is the most close, the closest low, the closest previous low to the current action price. We're moving on to the USD JPY, which got rejected by the 50 moving average yesterday after the US opening, headed a bit lower. Okay, we see a bit of strength after the European opening this morning. Currently, the USD is trading at 104.32 versus the Japanese yen. The Aussie dollar, again, did fairly well on the US trading session and on the Asian trading session last night. And as we got closer to the European markets opening, started giving back some of the gains. We see the stochastic turning around and pointing downwards, as well as the RSI. And we see the Aussie dollar trading way below the 200 and the 50 moving average. Okay, there's a dead cross there. We can see the moving averages well apart, okay, which indicates a bit of a selling power in the markets. USD Canadian is currently trading at 132.94, guys, on an uptrend as things stand right now. Okay, we can see it not being able to come down and test the 50 moving average at 132.51. Okay, and we see it trying to push a bit higher. Let's see if the US dollar will find the strength to push higher today. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, guys, you can see how they closed the day yesterday in red. There was a bloodbath on the markets yesterday with the S&P and the Dow closing the markets way, way below and leaving a massive gap behind them. That cross being formed on the 60-minute charts on the US 500 as well as the Dow Jones. We're looking at the US dollar index, guys, which is currently trading above the 200 moving average. It had a very good rally yesterday. On the European trading session, we saw it pulling back a bit overnight. And as things stand right now, apparently it's getting ready for another push for a slingshot effect. Yeah, if I can call it like that. And at this stage, probably traders that decide to go long on the US dollar index are aiming for the 93.78 level, trying to catch a few pips. Hey, let's see. RSI and stochastic at the bottom of the chart are pointing upwards. We see stochastic turning around from the oversold levels, and we see RSI turning around as well, not being able to go all the way down to the oversold levels. Okay, so we might see a bit of buying power on the US dollar index today. This can only mean one thing, guys. If that's going to happen, we're going to see gold futures trading even lower. They're currently trading even lower, below the $1,800 an ounce. It's currently trading at 1879.10 and pointing sharply downwards. Yeah, we see RSI and the stochastic crawling, literally crawling in the oversold levels. Okay, gold has created a lower low. If you look from left to right, and if this downwards movement will continue today, probably traders will aim for the 1855 level. Yeah, again, trying to catch a few pips from this downward movement. Let's see what's going to happen later on today, guys. Now we're looking at Brent oil futures, or the UK oil, which is currently trading at 39.44, trading at its lows. Hey, we see the most previous low at 39 on the dot. So we still have 41 cents to go to the 39 mark. If oil will continue the downtrend today, very, very likely it's going to touch the 39 level. We're looking at the RSI and the stochastic pointing downwards. We're looking at the price being well below the 50 and the 200 moving average, which usually indicates a lot of selling power. If we switch the charts to a longer time frame and we're looking at a 4-hour chart, again, you can see the price action pushing through this support level, that we had here at 39.39. Okay, on a 4-hour chart, again, RSI stochastic way in the oversold. Let's see if we get a clear indication if we look at it on a daily chart. Okay, again, on a daily chart, we see Brent oil futures trading way below the 200 moving average. It didn't manage to touch the 200 moving average on a daily chart since the 1st of September, from what we see here. Yeah, it's been trading sideways more or less, ranging between 42.97, 43, and 39.50, 39.40, somewhere there in that region. Silver futures also traded lower, heading towards the 200 moving average. They're currently trading at 23.34. Yeah, and we can see the 200 moving average at 21.13 on a daily chart. Let's see it on a 4-hour chart. On a 4-hour chart, the price is trading below the 200 moving average, which indicates a strong downtrend. Traders that decide to go short on silver today are probably aiming for the 2267 level. That's if the dollar will continue the uptrend, pushing gold futures and silver futures lower. And we're looking at, again, the champion, guys, which is the Bitcoin, which is currently trading at 13,123. Unfortunately, Bitcoin gave back about $500 in the last 24 hours after a fantastic rally where it jumped over $1,500 in only a couple of days. So probably we're going to see Bitcoin testing the 50 moving average, just below the 13,000 level, somewhere around the 12,934 is where the 50 moving average is right now, or 12,967. Yeah, what matters is that it's below the $13,000 mark. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Looking at the RSI and the stochastic at the bottom, guys, we can see the RSI not being able to go all the way into the oversold levels, which usually indicates a bit of an uptrend. Yeah, as you can see, if you look at the bottom of the chart towards the left, guys, you can see the RSI for quite some time was not able to go into the oversold levels. The closest it got to the oversold levels was on the 6th of October. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Yes, since then it was in an uptrend and the RSI was not able to go in the oversold levels. Now, let's have a quick look at a couple of interesting articles and see what is expected or what happened overnight. We see an article on oil up on hurricane shutdowns after 5% drop overnight. Oil was mixed this morning in Asia after a big 5% slide overnight that pulled both Brent and WTI futures below the $40 benchmark. Prices received a boost from Hurricane Zeta in the Gulf of Mexico. Oil markets took a blow in overnight trading as France and Germany announced major COVID-19 restrictions in their countries. COVID-19 case numbers are spiraling upwards in both Europe and the US, with further European clampdowns on social activities expected. The news pulled prices down over 5% on fears of even more protracted economic slump that previously expected. Asian trade restored some of the losses with Hurricane Zeta causing a shutdown of around 2/3 of U.S. Gulf of Mexico production. However, Libya's returning output after 8 months of embargo is pushing oversupply issues to the fore. The ongoing global rise of COVID-19 cases, especially in developed countries, is giving major concern to investors, with further economic woes in focus rather than the hopes of recovery seen in previous months. In the U.S. crude oil supply data, we had the crude oil inventories announced last night, guys, if you remember. Yes, so in the U.S. Crude oil supply data released yesterday by the U.S. Energy Information Administration showed a build of 4,320,000 barrels in the week of to October 23rd. Sorry. The build follows Tuesday's data from American Petroleum Institute, or the API, showing a build of 4.5 million barrels. So there's the proof, guys. The oil markets are way saturated and the markets are oversupplied and there's little to no demand. The only demand that might come in times like this is from North America that goes through a harsh winter. Yeah, if that's the case, the harsher the winter in North America and Canada, the more demand you're going to have for crude oil and natural gas, as they are used widely for warming up homes, right, now moving on, we see that adding to general uncertainty is the November 3rd U.S. presidential election, with fears of a protracted disputed outcome due to major changes in the way each state votes caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. With the ever-rising number of COVID-19 cases continuing to dampen fuel demand, the pandemic's resurgence is putting pressure on the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries to delay its planned production hike in January, ANZ Research said in a note. OPEC Plus had announced plans earlier in the month to ease production cuts from a current 7.7 million barrels per day to around 5.7 million barrels per day, starting in January 2021. Let's see. On a somewhat brighter note, both China and India are increasing their purchase activity. Crude oil processing from India hitting its highest point in 6 months, and China beginning to fill early 2021 quotas. So this is what is happening with the markets, guys. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty. It's almost certain that we're not going to see any stimulus from the U.S. side until after the U.S. presidential elections, which will happen next week. And InstructFX will try and broadcast live the US elections with a surprise guest, guys. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is until Monday or Tuesday next week. So stay tuned. We have a lot of guests next week, industry experts, public speakers, but we do have a surprise guest. So if you want to see who the surprise guest is for next month, stay tuned, guys. On Monday, most probably, I will reveal him. Now, let's get some trading signals, guys. Shortly after the European opening, we see the euro and the pound set on a strong sell on all 4 time frames against the US dollar today. In the same time, we see the USD JPY pair on a strong sell, a bit of mixed signals. We see the USD CHF in a strong buy on 3 time frames. AUD USD is set to drop even further, according to investing.com, with strong sell positions on all 4 time frames. The euro is set to drop versus the British pound again, with strong sell positions on all 4 time frames. See, the markets today give us a bit more clarity. Okay, on where the markets, on where the currencies are looking to go. We see USD Canadian set in a strong buy, Kiwi dollar strong sell, and euro set to drop against the JPY with strong sell on all 4 time frames. Quick look at commodities this morning, guys. Maybe we get a clear indication on what's going on. Wow! Again, another day of red on the charts. Gold and silver, strong sell on all 4 time frames. Copper, strong sell. Crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil, strong sell as Hurricane Zeta is making landfall later on today. Natural gas, guys, again, strong sell on 3 time frames, but the daily still remains a strong buy. And US wheat, strong sell again on 3 out of 4 time frames. This is what is happening. Apparently, the US dollar is set to strengthen again today. Let's have a quick look at indices, guys. Let's see how the European indices look after the European opening. Another day of red on the charts, another Red Sea. FTSE 100, strong sell on all 4 time frames. CAC 40, strong sell on all 4 time frames. The DAX 30, guys, strong sell on 3 time frames. IBEX 35, Eurostoxx 50, everything is stumbling today. We were hoping for a bit of buying power this morning. We were hoping for a bit of reversal, after the sharp drops that happened in the markets yesterday. There you go. Nothing really happened yet. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar, guys, and see how busy today looks like. We started at 5 o'clock in the morning with announcements from Japan. We saw the Bank of Japan kept the interest rate decision to a negative 0.1%. We saw a few announcements from Spain in the Eurozone. We had the Spanish Consumer Price Index, which came out negative. No wonder, with Spain imposing strict lockdown measures and imposing a state of emergency last week. Okay, so the numbers coming from Spain were not green whatsoever. In 33 minutes, guys, we're going to have the German unemployment change. Okay, which again is forecasted to come in a negative 5K. German unemployment rate is seen unchanged at 6.3%. Okay, versus a previous of 6.3% and a forecast of 6.3%. Let's see if it's going to come as expected, or it's going to come even lower, as the COVID cases in Germany are increasing drastically. And Angela Merkel was saying yesterday that Germany is considering a full lockdown. Last night, she pitched the government, if I can put it that way, in closing restaurants, bars, and cinemas in another effort of stopping the spread of the virus. So let's see what's going to happen, how the unemployment numbers will come out. At 2:30 GMT plus 2, guys, we have the gross domestic product coming out from U.S., as well as the initial jobless claims expected to come at 775,000 versus a previous of 787,000. Let's see what's going to happen. Shortly after that, guys, 15 minutes after that, we're going to have the ECB meeting with the ECB interest rate decision and the monetary policy statement. Very, very likely the ECB today will talk about the full lockdown measures that France has instituted last night and the partial lockdown measures that Germany wants to institute as well, and also the Spanish markets. The Spanish lockdown measures. As Spain entered a full lockdown. Let's see what's going to happen. A lot of pressure on the euro today at 3:30 GMT plus 3, exactly at the US opening, guys. When we're going to ring the bell together, we're going to have the ECB press conference, which will definitely put a lot of pressure on the US markets opening. And at 4 o'clock, guys, 30 minutes after the U.S. market opening today, we're going to have pending home sales, very, very important announcements, which are forecasted to come out at 3.4% versus the previous of 8.8%. Wow, massive, massive change, massive forecast from the previous data released. This is what is happening with the economic calendar today, guys. This is what is going on with the markets. If you look towards the right hand side of the screen, you can see I've set some trading signals on a 5-hour charts, and there's a lot of red in the markets. The only bit of green that you can see is on the USD CAD pair. Okay, so the USD is set to strengthen versus the Canadian dollar today. Let's see if that's the case. Everything else seems to be dropping, guys. We're going to witness a very red end of the year. But we saw red Decembers before, and we saw that in January, February, the markets recovered. So join me at 3:30, sorry guys, GMT plus 2 to ring the bell together for the US markets opening. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money. Andrew the Chart Whisperer, over and out.